Hey guys and gals, it's Dr. Marcy, and I just want to talk to you about another way that we can work together. So we've talked about number one, just doing the consultation and the genetic testing, and that all happens after you've filled out the paperwork and we've had our consultation, and we've gone over what I think is the best plan for you. But one of the other plans that I offer for people besides the year-long plan is the simple weight loss plan. So the weight loss plan, interestingly, it's not really about weight loss. It's about metabolics in general. And it's also about resetting your mindset around what healthy looks like and where you want to be a year from now, even though the program's only 12 weeks. That program, people who enter that program are people who have struggled with their blood pressure, blood sugar, hormones. They may have been diagnosed with something like PCOS. They may have been diagnosed with adrenal fatigue. They may have been diagnosed with thyroid dysfunction. They are typically somebody who tells me that they have tried everything else to lose weight and they just cannot lose the weight. And they are really frustrated. A lot of them have high cholesterol and they have some other indicators that they're not doing their absolute best health-wise. Their CRP is high. If they have it tested, the homocysteine is probably high. Their resting glucose is too high. Fasting glucose and insulin numbers are high. So that program, the 12 weeks, 6 weeks of it is spent on some food restriction. And when I say food restriction, that looks different for everyone. So I have a guy right now who's doing the program who's eating somewhere between 1,600 and 1,800 calories a day. I don't know about most of you, but that's a lot of calories. So when I say food restriction, that looks different for different people. He is doing a significant fasting window, but we've increased that over time. I have other people who are eating closer to somewhere between 800 and 1,500 calories a day. So it really depends on what that looks like for different people and how long we stay there. At the end of the 6 weeks, they are doing some adding foods back in to see how their body responds. And we look at what happens in the body. So are we getting changes in bowel movements that are significant? Is there gas, bloating? Is there more belching? Is there heartburn? Does joint pain come back? Those kinds of things, so that we know, even if you don't test allergic for that food, or if you don't test sensitive for that food, that hey, maybe your body's not quite ready to tolerate that yet, or maybe there's some more healing in the gut that we need to do. So that's the basics of that program. Along with that program comes unlimited messaging with me through an app. There's some group coaching, there's some one-on-one coaching, and then there is a lot of pre-recorded content that comes to you that talks about why we're doing what we're doing, what are some other ways you can help yourself, and it gives you some things that you can do to slowly adjust your home. Because again, we've talked about this before, one of the things we know is that when our body has become a little over toxic, the best place to store toxins is in the fat cells, and all the places that we might find toxins are cleaners in our homes, plastics, cleaners that you might be exposed to at work. My dad was a mechanic, he was exposed to chemicals all the time, right? So there's a lot of detox there to do when he's home. Things that you might be exposed to, like if you're somebody who likes to go running, but the only place for you to run is next to a busy street, the exhaust fumes, diesel fumes, those kinds of things are all things that you might need to detox from. If someone in your life burns scented candles, those are things that you might want to get rid of because they create huge endocrine disruption. Trading out your Teflon pots and pans or your non-stick pots and pans. And then just kind of slowly seeing, where are the areas of my life where I can start doing things that are a little bit healthier, because it's not easy to do it. Like to just say, I'm going to throw out everything in my house and start over. Financially, for a lot of people, that's not responsible. And so we want to give you the tools over time so that you can start integrating these things over time. All right, I ran out of that laundry detergent that I used to use. What am I going to use now instead? All right, I ran out of that cleaner that I used to use to clean the tub. What am I going to use now instead? Okay, I no longer have the stuff that I used to put on the floors that could kill my dogs. What am I going to use instead? So we give those options so that as you kind of go through the program, you can kind of slowly detox your life. And it does take a bit of time. The average person who goes about really detoxing their life in a way that seems the most financially responsible, it takes them really about a year typically. And we get down to even like if you truly wanted to be healthy, and I'm guilty of this too, you would get out of your Lululemon clothing and move to only 100% natural fibers like cotton and wool and cashmere. And that's not, I haven't made it there yet. Honest, haven't made it there yet. So there are things that you can do to slowly detox your life, and we talk about that in the program. In that program as well, we at the end go through, okay, now that you're done with this and we know what foods you're still reacting to, here's what your plan looks like over time. And here's a nutrition plan with some meals in it that you can follow for the next 6 weeks and beyond. And here are some ideas for you of things that we know you don't react to and how you can grow. And then how do you slowly change over, because believe it or not, you can change the palate of your tongue and your family's tongue in about 7 weeks' time if you do it slowly over time. And how do you detox the kids' lunchbox? Those kinds of things that make a lot of sense, because it's not just about you being healthy, because trust me, it's really hard to get healthy in the same environment that got you sick. And a lot of people will say, oh, calorie restriction doesn't work. And a calorie in and a calorie out is exercise. Well, it's not always. When you've got hormonal things going on, when you've got adrenals that are out of balance, when you've got an absorption issue because your gut is out of balance, it's not always calories in, calories out. And we've got to stop thinking that way because it doesn't work for everyone. But also, we know that the gut needs a break in order to heal. So there are some supplement recommendations that come on, okay, now that we've got enough time for the gut to do some healing, here are the products that you can use to help heal that gut. And those kinds of things come through that program as well. So that program, again, it's a 12-week program, but there are things that you're given to kind of continue that program beyond what that is. And it still starts with a consultation. We still recommend that you do the genetic testing, and that we know long-term what your meal plan should look like based on your genetics. And again, that test in 2023 right now, this is March of 2023, is running right around $512 to $518, depending on the shipping to different states. I don't know why that's different, but it is. So that is what we're looking at in terms of that testing. If you have any more questions, or you're one of those people who has had that stubborn weight gain that you just can't get rid of, and you have literally tried everything, and you're suffering with that gas, bloating, constipation to diarrhea, irritation with gastric reflux, your blood sugar numbers are out of control, reach out to me and I'm happy to have this conversation with you about how we can work together. Have a great day.